Checking the forecast, things looking crazy. A storm on the horizon, the pressure is low. Gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert. But we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates. We're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates. We're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates. We're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates. We're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates. We're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates. We're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Let's get this show on the road. Emergency Management Associates here. This is Ron Tyler. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. We want to welcome everybody here to our program tonight. I want to start off this program. First off, we're going to be talking about earthquakes. We're going to be talking about volcanoes. We're going to be talking about storms. But guys, we need to be aware of what's going on. Okay? The storms. Let's first talk about the storms. Okay? Yesterday we talked a great deal about the nor'easter that's coming in to our shores on the East Coast. Again, the greatest impact will be over in northern Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and upwards up into Maine. Okay? But I just found out this morning that this storm is going to linger over South and North Carolina. Okay? Now, what do you need to know about that? We are expecting anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rain. We are expecting at least 5 to 10 inches of rain along the coastline. Inland's going to be another story. But over along the coastline of North and South Carolina especially, we're going to see at least 5 to 10 inches of rain. That's huge. That's huge, guys. That means extreme flooding, especially on the Outer Banks, which are the islands just offshore. They're going to experience flooding. They're going to experience beach erosion. And guess what? More damage. You know, we just got through going through 2 hurricanes off the coast. Now, we expect that to continue happening through the rest of the hurricane season. But guys, what's going on with the nor'easter? Okay, there is a low pressure system coming in off the Atlantic Ocean that's going to first affect Florida and then all the way up the East Coast up to Maine. It's going to hover around North and South Carolina. A lot of rain with extreme flooding, okay, especially starting on Sunday. That rain is going to go into Friday night, into Saturday, and into Sunday. Who knows what's going to happen? We will be covering it. We'll be telling you about what's going on. But everyone here along the East Coast needs to be aware there's going to be heavy rain and extreme flooding all up and down the coast, especially in South and North Carolina. Now, something else is going on. Let me bring that up. Okay? Over on the West Coast, off the coast of Mexico right now, this is Priscilla. This is Priscilla off the Baja California coast. Guess what's going to happen? That's going to proceed northeastbound. It's going to go over the Baja California. It's going over northern Mexico. And by Friday night, Southern California, San Diego, the Imperial Valley that we've been talking about earthquakes in, San Diego and the Imperial Valley in Arizona, and even partially southwestern Texas, they're going to get nailed. Okay? They're going to get heavily nailed. There is a lot of moisture with this storm. Again, they're expecting anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rain out in the Arizona desert. Now, that rain's also going to extend upwards into Nevada and southern Utah, around the Grand Canyon area. 5 to 10 inches of rain before it moves out to the west, out to the east, Okay? Then there's another storm off in the Pacific Northwest. That's going to come ashore again. Okay? There's been a series of storms coming in off the Pacific to the Pacific Northwest. There's going to be heavy rain and some snow in the Pacific Northwest, and it's going to go over into Washington, southern or northern Oregon. It's going to spread over into Utah and Idaho. Okay? There's going to be a lot of snow with this storm. A lot of snow. That snow is going to go over into Montana, Wyoming, and even western North Dakota before it goes up into Canada. Then that storm may proceed over through Canada, through Manitoba, over into Saskatchewan, and all the way over into Ontario. But it's also going to be skimming the northeast tier of the United States. So everybody in North Dakota, Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, and the northern tier of the United States going east are going to see some snow. But not before the nor'easter on the East Coast takes effect. That's only going to be rain. It's not going to be any snow in the nor'easter. Okay? But you all need to be aware of what's going on. A lot of rain coming into the Pacific Northwest that's going to affect Washington, Oregon, Northern California, and then this storm that's off the Baja, Priscilla. It's going to affect California, Arizona, southwestern Texas, and going up into Nevada and Utah, all the way up to Utah. Okay? You're going to see a lot of rain. You may see some snow in northern Utah because that storm in the Pacific Northwest. You're going to see some snow in Utah, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and upwards into North Dakota. Everybody needs to be aware of this, okay? For some, this will be the first storm you're going to see. Northern Utah has already seen some snow. Northern Utah has already seen some snow. Alta Utah got about 5 inches of snow from the last storm. Okay, they're already preparing for ski season, and it's only October. So guys, batten down the hatches. Batten down the hatches. The storm off of southern Mexico probably won't even reach up into California at all. It's going to go out into the Pacific. But this Priscilla that's off of Baja California, that is going to spread heavy rain. Lots of rain and flooding. As we said before, when you see heavy rain, there's going to be flash flooding everywhere. Do not cross flooded roadways. Do not cross flooded roadways either with your car or on foot. 6 inches of flowing water can knock you off your feet. 12 inches of water can float a car. Turn around, don't drown. Turn around, don't drown. Okay? I want to make sure everybody understands this. This is amazing. 2 different storms going across the United States, and it's going to affect everybody. Literally everybody. Batten down the hatches and get ready for it. Laura Marie's in Oregon. She says, looks like she's going to be seeing some rain soon. Yes, you will, Laura. Hope you and John and the rest of your family and your animals are going to do okay. I know you guys take care of them. If any of you have animals over there in California, Oregon, and Washington, and all through the west of the United States, make sure your animals are taken care of. Don't leave them out to be victims of a storm. Take care of them. Okay? Please do that. Hurricane Heather says both coasts are going to see a lot of rain. You're absolutely right. Tons and tons of rain. Okay? Now, I don't want to be a bearer of bad news at all. But gosh, golly gee, guess what? It's going to happen. Not only are we going to be subject to that nor'easter starting tonight, okay? That low pressure system's coming in now. Okay? Early this morning, we had temperatures in the 50s. Tonight, before we wake up, temperatures will be in the low 40s here in North Carolina. Low 40s. No, we're not going to see snow. Can't see snow with temperatures in the 40s, but this is a lot colder than we've been used to. So everybody here along the East Coast needs to be able to take care of their animals. Heavy rain and lots of flooding. Take care of your animals, your livestock, and everybody in your family. Please take care, guys. If you see heavy rain coming up to your doorstep, you may want to sandbag your homes. If you see rain coming in, sandbag your homes to protect them on the East Coast. The same thing goes in Arizona, guys. Arizona's basically flat. It's a huge desert. When that water goes through the desert, it goes crazy. Major flash flooding. We've already seen that during the monsoon season, and this is just a carryover of that. Heidi Petrick is saying snow. Oh, I wish. Be safe, everyone. Heidi, they're going to see snow in the upper tier of the United States. Washington, Oregon, possibly, and over into Idaho, northern Utah, and over into Montana and Wyoming and North Dakota. Those areas are going to see some snow, and that carry over, even though the storm is going through western North Dakota into Canada, Manitoba, Canada, that storm's going to continue eastbound across the southern part of Canada, but it's also going to skirt the northern tier states. We're going to see some snow in the northern areas. Be aware of that. Be very aware of it. Okay? Sonic Popo says God's trying to get our attention. You're probably right. You're probably right. But things are happening. I want to bring these things to your attention so you can be aware of them. Okay? More than anything. If you have friends in the West, if you have friends over in the East Coast, advise them. Tell your friends and family to batten down the hatches. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you have a lot of water and a lot of food. Brokefish Inn is here. Gosh, golly gee, Daryl, it's good to see you, brother. Brokefish Inn and I have been very good friends for a very long time. Brother, Brokefish N says there's already flood watch in Utah right now. Yeah, go figure. Southern Utah, guys, is a desert. Yes, there are rolling hills there. There are red rolling hills. Clay. Remember Zion National Park? Huge mountain range. But those areas of southern Utah, Zion National Park, for example, they've got some mountain ranges, but there are rivers through there as well. The Jordan River flows through southern Utah, guys, and when they have heavy rains, it floods. They have a lot of people camping in those areas. They have a lot of people hiking. Those areas are very flood prone. If you're going into Zion National Park and even into Bryce Canyon, stay out of the water. Go to higher ground. That's where you're going to be safe. Don't get caught in those flood areas. Don't get caught in those flood areas, guys. It could be hazardous to your health. Stay out of it. Stay completely out of it. Now, I want to welcome everybody into the chat and into our program. It says we have 35 people watching. I think we have a lot more than that. YouTube has been mashing our numbers, not letting everybody see our program. Or if they do see it, they're not telling me about it. Let's put it that way. Folks, if you haven't been to this program before, please subscribe to this program. When you subscribe, there's a little bell icon. Click on that little bell icon. That will get you notified when we come on the air. When you click on that bell icon, there's a drop-down menu of 3 items. Click on the word ALL. That should get you notified when we come on the air. But YouTube does not always notify everybody. We come on the air between 4 and 5 o'clock every day, except when there's a big, huge news story going on, and I make sure that I've got the information before I go on the air. Most of the time, we come on the air between 4 and 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Okay? Now, please give us a thumbs up as well. We'd appreciate it. That way, YouTube knows that you like this program and you advise others to see it as well. Also, don't just stay here for 5 or 10 minutes. Don't just stay here for 15 minutes. Stay here for the good majority of the show. That way you're getting the information we have for you. Okay? You can't possibly even be here for 10 or 15 minutes and understand what we're going to have for you. We talked about flooding. We talked about rains. We talked about the storms. There's one other storm down south of the Leeward Islands. Okay? It's called Tropical Storm Jerry. Jerry's way down there, but Jerry's moving northbound. Jerry's moving northbound. By tomorrow night, Jerry could become a hurricane, could become a Cat 1 hurricane. Now, the forecasters don't think it will go much beyond that, but it's going to stay out to the east. It's not going to hit shore. It's not going to be really have any concern. Nobody should have any concern about our shoreline at all from Jerry. It's going to stay well offshore. Okay? But right now, the biggest thing we have to worry about is the nor'easter that's coming in. Be very careful, guys. Be very careful. Like I said, tonight here in North Carolina, we're going to have 40-degree temperatures. And it's going to start to rain late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Be aware of it. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Now let's go look at earthquakes, okay? I'm going to bring up the USGS map just momentarily here, and I'm going to show you earthquakes around the world. One of the biggest earthquakes that have hit today is off the northeast shore of Kamchatka Peninsula. The northeastern shore of Kamchatka Peninsula, guys. We've had another 6.0. We've had another very strong 6.0 earthquake right here. Now, why are we still having these earthquakes? USGS is not even showing us all the earthquakes. There are 5 earthquakes off the northeastern shore of the Kamchatka Peninsula of Russia. They're only showing 2. Okay? This is a 6.0. We've also had a 4.5, 4.6, and 4.7 earthquakes here. Okay? But a 6.0 earthquake is very damaging. This is far enough offshore that the people over here in Obernoski Russia probably won't feel it. They might feel a large 5.0, 5.2 along the shoreline, but you need to know this. Russia cannot get this broadcast. Russia filters all YouTube broadcasts. Okay? They're not going to see this broadcast. But over on the shoreline of Kamchatka Peninsula, it's very sparse population, here and there at best. They didn't feel the majority of this earthquake. The majority of the seismic energy here was filtered by the Pacific Ocean. It was absorbed by the waters of the Pacific Ocean. So they didn't feel this. They may have felt a 5, maybe a good size 4.8, 4.9. They probably did feel some kind of shaking, but it's 74 miles off the coast of Kamchatka, Russia. And they have a bunch of 4s here as well. It's unfortunately that USGS does not show all the earthquakes. Very unfortunate. But I want to show you that. Let's go south. Okay? Over here in China. Southern China here. This is a large 5.5. This is a mid-range 5. 5.5 here in Dochang, China. I believe this is going to continue here. We've had a series of earthquakes here. The USGS has not been showing, but I believe this seismic energy is going to continue in this area. A 5.5 over here in southern China. Okay, now let's go over here. Okay, I want to show you this. Right up here. Okay, USGS is only showing one earthquake here. Northwestern Turkey. There are 200 earthquakes here. There are 200 earthquakes here. This is a 5.0 large quake. 5.0 large quake. There are 4.0s, 4.9s here. There are 3.0, 3.9s. There are 2.0, 2.9 minor quakes. There are a ton of tremors. There are 200 earthquakes here in northwestern Turkey. USGS is only showing one. Very sad. Very sad. Earthquakes in northern Turkey all over the place. Southern Turkey the same way, and they even have a handful of earthquakes in central Turkey. But earthquakes over on the western side of Turkey as well. Over here on the eastern side right here, there are 46 earthquakes here. 46 aftershocks of a very large earthquake that happened here, and I'm not talking very huge, I'm talking huge, 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 huge earthquake. 9.0, 10.0 earthquake happened February 3rd, 2023. This area is still having aftershocks as a result of that huge earthquake. Okay? Huge earthquake. They're still seeing aftershocks from there. A large number of aftershocks. So we have earthquakes all over this area of eastern Turkey, Syria border region, northern Turkey, central Turkey, central Turkey, and over here in the northwestern Turkey area. 5.0 with 200 earthquakes there. Greece, 24 earthquakes here in Greece. They're not showing us any. There are a handful of earthquakes here around Crete, Greece. Over here in the central part of the Aegean Sea, we have a handful of earthquakes here. Most of these are just tremors. I believe we have one 2.2 earthquake between these two islands out here in the Aegean Sea. Okay? We've had earthquakes out here because there's magma down beneath the surface here that is hitting bedrock here, fracturing rock in the magma chambers here down beneath the ocean. Magma is trying to find its way to the surface to erupt. It's either going to erupt on one of the islands out here, or it may start a new island over here in the Aegean Sea. We don't know. Nobody does. But this kind of energy has been popping around here for months now. Lots of months since earlier this year. Again, Greece, Crete, Greece, mainland Greece has been having earthquakes. A ton of earthquakes. Let's go over here to Etna. Mount Etna out here. Okay? Mount Etna is erupting. Okay? There's been an incandescent glow in the summit crater, and there's been lava flowing down the side of the volcano. Okay, Stromboli volcano, which is near that, has also been erupting. Okay, then we go over here to southern Italy here, right here. Earthquakes galore, but USGS not showing them. They had a 4.5 here yesterday. Today they have some minor tremors and minor earthquakes here. Why? Because Vesuvius is trying to erupt here. Mount Vesuvius is trying to erupt. Earthquakes all over this area, guys. And I'm serious, all over this area. They've had 60 earthquakes here. It's sad that USGS is not going to talk about it. It's a very urbanized area. If this volcano, and I shouldn't even say if, when this volcano goes, this whole area is urbanized, guys. There are homes and businesses all over this area. Huge urban corridor, millions of people here. They're going to be displaced, and some people are going to get killed and injured. That's what's going on here. Okay? Still up here in central Turkey here, or not Turkey, central Italy here. There are 20 earthquakes here continually here. Okay? We just got through having a couple days ago a 5.1 over here on the coastline of Italy. 5.1. Again, that was due to all the swarms of earthquakes that we continue to see here. They're still happening here. USGS does not even acknowledge it. Unreal. Earthquakes over here in northeastern Italy, southwestern Italy here, up in the Alps of Italy, Switzerland, and Germany. Most of these are 1.2, 1.4, 1.7, 2.0, and 2.2 earthquakes. Going over in Switzerland, the same thing. 2.0, 2.1 earthquakes here. France, 2.5 to 3.5 earthquakes here in France, especially over here near Normandy. Near Normandy. Now we don't have any earthquakes here in England yet. That still remains to be seen what's going to happen here. Rebecca Griffiths, thank you for being here. God bless you, dear. Rebecca Griffiths is still a very good, very close friend of mine. Appreciate her a lot too. Now, guys, be aware of what's going on around you. Earthquakes here in southern Sweden, also over here in southern Norway. Be aware of that. Let's go over here and talk about Iceland. USGS still continues not to talk about Iceland. We have earthquakes here. A lot of earthquakes here. Now, why am I talking about it? Why do you think I've been talking about earthquakes here? Does anybody have an idea why we've been talking about earthquakes here? Right out here. There just happens to be a power plant here in Iceland. It's called the Svartsengi Power Plant. And just west there is the Blue Lagoon Spa. Guess what's been happening here? Have you figured out what's going on here? If not, you need to be aware of it. You need to be aware of what's going on. Yes, we have people from Iceland that watch our show. Rebecca Griffiths says there's a volcano. Yes, there is. The volcanoes here have been erupting. Huge long fissures of lava pouring out of the volcano here. But over here in Svartsengi, there's a magma reservoir underneath Svartsengi power plant. GPS sensors show that the power plant has been rising up. The power plant has been rising up. Why? Because that magma reservoir beneath the power plant has been filling. It's been filling, guys, to a great extent. If you guys haven't already noticed, this area is going to go crazy. This area is going to go crazy. I promise you that. Okay? It's going to pop. It's going to pop. The Sarasanga area, guys, let me tell you this. Since September 23rd, just about 2 weeks ago, the magma reservoir underneath Sarasanga had over 10 million cubic meters of magma that accumulated beneath the power plant. 10 million cubic meters of magma. That magma has accumulated since the last eruption within the Reykjanes Peninsula area. Data showed that the magma is accumulated at around 4-kilometer depth, 2-mile depth underneath the power plant. The rate of magma accumulation is steady. Calculations are based on satellite deformation measurements, GPS measurements. Now, so far, that magma reservoir has accumulated 10 million cubic meters of magma. Scientists over at the Icelandic Meteorological Agency that monitors volcanoes besides weather, the Icelandic Meteorological Agency says that the accumulation of magma may reach and exceed 11 cubic meters. 11 million cubic meters, guys. That's huge. That's more magma down beneath the Svartsengi power plant than it's ever accumulated before. Okay? Since the likelihood of another eruption has increased, the Icelandic Meteorological Agency has raised the volcanic alert level to level 2 on a 4-level scale. Actually, it's a 3-level scale here in Iceland. So they raised the likelihood of an eruption here in Iceland along the Reykjanes Peninsula to level 2 out of 3 level. Okay, that's huge. That's huge. We're going to keep a very close eye on this. Okay, the likelihood of an eruption could be at any minute, literally, any minute. Again, that depth of magma beneath the Svartsengi power plant is only 2 miles deep, 4 kilometers, 4 small kilometers. Usually the volcanoes out here have erupted at 10 million cubic meters. Now it's exceeded that, approaching 11 million cubic meters. The last eruption happened up here. Happened right up here. Now, if it continues to go like this, it may even go further north. But it still could happen over here. It's going to probably be another fissure eruption, meaning a long line of lava flowing out of a long line of openings, a long fissure opening. Okay, the last fissure was 3 kilometers wide. We've had as much as a 12 fissure long fissure opened up. That's huge. That's huge. Now, we don't expect the lava to be able to go down here to Grindavik, to southeastern Iceland here. This town of Grindavik had about 3,000 people in it. Okay? Now, they have allowed some people to move back here. They have had some people that were allowed to move back here. But most of the people settled in other areas of Iceland because of the likelihood of a volcanic eruption down here. Okay? If you don't already know, last year we had a fissure eruption just outside of northwest of Grindavik out here. We had 2 fissures that opened up. First, a fissure opened up way out here to the west. Then another fissure opened up over here. Okay? Opened up out here. That fissure of lava flowed out over here to western Grindavik and burned down 4 houses. Burned down 4 houses here. Now they have a huge, huge earthen fence out here. completely surrounding Greenvik, and also completely, they have another fence that they built around the Sourcing power plant out here, and also the Blue Lagoon. They don't expect it to happen again, but it could. They built an 85-foot earthen wall around Svartsengi, Greenvik, and also the Blue Lagoon Spa. That way, they're going to try to prevent any lava flow into those areas. Hopefully that happens. Okay. Rebecca Griffiths says she can't help but wait to meet her maker. I can't wait either. I would love to meet Jesus Christ again. Okay, but that's what's happening here in Iceland. I wanted to bring you up to date on that. Okay, now let's go over here to the United States. Over here, just west and south of the St. Lawrence Seaway, we've had another 1.7 and 1.2 tremor up here in northern Canada, northeastern Canada. That's pretty much normal. That's pretty much normal. Yes, we continue to have earthquakes up and down the entire eastern coastline caused by the mid-Atlantic plate expansion. This mid-Atlantic plate is expanding. It's pushing Europe and Africa in an easterly direction. It's pushing Greenland, Canada, the United States, and northern Mexico in a southwesterly direction. That's going to continue. That is continuing as we speak. That's why we have earthquakes here on the East Coast. That's also causing earthquakes on the New Madrid Fault, and seismic energy here from the west coast of the United States is also spreading east, also putting pressure on the east side of the New Madrid Fault, causing earthquakes. That's going to continue, I promise you that. Okay? We talked yesterday about earthquakes down here in Southern California. They are continuing. They're not going to stop. Notice all these earthquakes over here in the Imperial Valley today. This earthquake in Brawley, we showed you where Brawley was yesterday. This is a 1.7 tremor here. This is a 2.3 tremor in Brawley, California. Further up here to the northwest here, guess what? USGS has this near Brawley, but it's not. It's west of Brawley. This is a 2.6 earthquake. This is a 2.3 earthquake. This is 1.4. And this is 1.3. They're not showing any earthquakes over here in the town of Imperial or El Centro, but there are. There are plenty of earthquakes here. Again, USGS is only showing those earthquakes that they want us to see. Nothing like is actually happening. But if you live in Southern California, be advised, this area is rocking and rolling. It's going to continue. Further southwest here, just north of the U.S. border, this is Ocotillo, California. This is a 0.6 microquake here. But there are other earthquakes here as well. Going up here to the northwest here, this is Ocotillo Wells, southwest of Ocotillo Wells. This is also 0.8 microquake. Just southwest of the Salton Sea here, this is a 1.0 tremor here. Okay, let's go over here in North San Diego County. Warner Springs, northwestern San Diego County, Warner Springs. This is a 0.8 microquake here. Going further northeast here, this is the Anza area, Anza Borrego Desert State Park, northeast San Diego County. This is a 1.1 tremor. Going north, and also notice where these earthquakes are. This is a San Jacinto Fault. This is a 1.4 tremor. This is a 0.8 also in the Anza Gap area. This is a 1.1 here near Fallbrook, California. Yeah. Let's go up here, okay? Temecula, just north of San Diego County. This is a 1.6 tremor. Going north here, Home Gardens, California. south of Corona. They want us to believe there's only 1.1, 1.4 tremor here. There are dozens of tremors. There are dozens of 2.0, 3.0 earthquakes in this area. They're just not telling us about it. Over near Riverside here, look at this. Redlands, California, a 2.1 minor earthquake. Up north here, Lake Arrowhead, again, a 1.3 tremor here. Let's go back over here at Anaheim. This is a 1.2 near Villa Park, California. This is a 2.3 near Yorba Linda, California. This actually is in Yorba Linda. Yorba Linda, California is where the former President Richard M. Nixon was born. Richard M. Nixon was the president from 1968 to 1974. But these are not the only earthquakes here. These are the only earthquakes that USGS wants to admit to. There are over 400 earthquakes here in Los Angeles, at least 400 to 500 over in the Imperial Valley today. Unreal. Unreal. Let's go north here. Earthquake capital, California. Fairfield, California. This is a 1.4 tremor here. Going north, right here, you see two red earthquakes. These just happened. That's why they're red. This is a 1.8 in the Pinnacles, also along the San Andreas Fault. This is also 1.6 in Tres Pinos. Okay, right alongside the San Andreas. Up here to the north, Ridgemark, California. This is a 2.0 minor earthquake. Over here to the southeast, the Calaveras Fault here. This is a 2.0 earthquake here, right alongside the Calaveras Fault. Going north, this is on the Hayward Fault. Morgan Hill, California, 1.7 tremor. Going north here, again, the Hayward Fault. Berkeley, California. This is an aftershock of a 4.5 earthquake here in Berkeley just about 2 weeks ago. This is a 2.5 minor earthquake here in Berkeley, California. Going north. Remember a few days ago we talked to you about the Geysers, California, the geothermal complex here, and north of it, the Clear Lake volcano. We told you about the earthquakes happening at the Clear Lake volcano. They're continuing. They're continuing. Earthquakes here in the Geysers area. This is a 0.8 microquake. This is a 1.6 tremor. Let me show you this. This is a 1.2 tremor here. This is a 1.0. This is a 1.2. This is a 1.2. Guys, there was a 2.0 here, just right in this area here. They've taken it down already. The 2.0 earthquake that happened here just 2 hours ago, they've taken it down. 2.0 minor earthquake here in the Geysers. 2.0 minor earthquake here in the Geysers, they've taken it down. Again, the USGS does not want us to see what's going on here. Seismic energy is coming from the Pacific Plate and comes over here to the Geysers area. There are probably over 100 holes in the ground here. 100 drill points here in the ground. Scientists and engineers have drilled into the upper magma chambers of the Clear Lake volcano to tap in to get steam, to power turbines here in the Geysers area, to generate electricity. That's why we have so many earthquakes here. Seismic energy comes off the Pacific Plate over here to the North American Plate. When it sees these man-made holes in the ground, these man-made drill points automatically become man-made earthquake faults. Seismic energy comes here, fractures the rock inside the hole, causing an earthquake. causing an earthquake. Look at this. Here's a series of a set of turbines here. They're powered by the geothermal energy from the volcano to generate electricity. This is just one of the facilities here. There are more than this. There are several facilities like this one here. This is a 12-pack. This is a 12-pack. Two different sets of 6 turbines here. There are a total of 81 turbines here in the Geysers facility to pull steam from the Clear Lake volcano down here in the Geysers facility in Sonoma County, California. Wine country, by the way. They generate electricity here, guys. Now, as you can see, we have 2 brand new earthquakes. Earlier today, we had 22 earthquakes here. Now we probably have 24 since these 2 brand new earthquakes have hit. This is again a 0.7, and this is a 1.6 tremor. So now we've had probably 24 earthquakes here in the Geysers facility. Okay? More earthquakes up here. There are more earthquakes. USGS is not showing any earthquakes over here in the Triple Junction area, but there are. There are 3 minor earthquakes here, 2.4, 2.6, a 2.7 earthquakes here in the Triple Junction area here, the southern Cascadia subducted zone region. Notice they're not showing any earthquakes here in Oregon at all. That's sad. That's sad. In just a second, I'm going to show you earthquakes all over Oregon. Literally. Literally. I'm going to show you earthquakes here in Washington State. They're showing 1 microquake here at Mount St. Helens. I'm about to show you a seismogram here from Mount St. Helens. I'm going to show you a couple of them, in fact. They're just not microquakes, they're minor earthquakes and 3.0 earthquakes here at Mount St. Helens. They're not showing any earthquakes here at Mount Rainier. There are dozens and dozens of earthquakes here at Mount Rainier. They're not showing them. They're showing 1 earthquake up here to the north. Beau Arts Village, Washington. This is a 1.0 tremor. Over here to the west, in the Olympic Peninsula, just south of Olympic National Park. This is a 2.8 minor earthquake here in Hoodsport, Washington. Hoodsport, Washington. Okay? But there are dozens of other earthquakes all over this area. They just don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. Just for kicks and giggles. Let's go down here to the south. Okay? Down here. This is the southern Kermadec Islands area. Southern Kermadec Islands north of New Zealand. This is a large 5.2 earthquake here. 5.2 large earthquake. The Kermadec Islands are not occupied islands by humans. The Kermadec Islands are a bird sanctuary. What they're not showing is all the dozens of earthquakes over here along the North Island and South Island of New Zealand. I'm saying dozens. There are 24 earthquakes here in North and South Island of New Zealand. Mostly 2.0 to 2.9 earthquakes. There is 1 3.1 earthquake over here near Hawke's Bay. Hawke's Bay right down here. Okay? We had a large earthquake just on the northwest side of the volcano here. This is Topol Lake. It's also called Topol Volcano. It's a super volcano over here in the center of the North Island of New Zealand. We had a 5.1 earthquake here a week and a half ago. They're not showing any earthquakes here, which is sad, because there's dozens of earthquakes over here. Dozens of earthquakes on the North and South Island that they don't want to admit to. Sad. Very sad. I want to go north over here into Vanuatu now. Isango, Vanuatu. This is a 4.6 moderate earthquake here. This is a 4.8 near Loganville, Vanuatu. What USGS is not telling us, guys, is we have some volcanoes over here as well. 4 volcanoes here. 4 volcanoes over here in Vanuatu. They're steaming. Not just steaming, they're emitting sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide gas. They're getting ready to erupt. They're not showing even half of the earthquakes here. They're not showing any. They're not showing any. There are 14 earthquakes here in Vanuatu around the volcanoes. Yeah. Do we need to watch out for them? Absolutely. You can bet on it. They're just not talking about it, which is sad. Over here at the border of Papua New Guinea and Papua Indonesia, this is a 4.6 earthquake here. It's not the only one. This 4.6 earthquake is approximately 22 miles deep. What they're not showing you is 46 earthquakes here in Indonesia. 46 earthquakes here in Indonesia. Over here in north central Sumatra, Indonesia here, we have a volcano over here. We have a volcano here that's erupting. They have a volcano here that's erupting right in here. There is lava flowing down the sides of this volcano. They don't want to tell us about it, do they? Heaven forbid. Over here in central Java, we have another volcano that's erupting. Semeru volcano is erupting here. Unreal. Going up here in central Indonesia here, Mount Ibu is erupting. 6,000 foot eruption here at Mount Ibu. Dukono, 7,000 foot eruption at Dukono. Luotoa volcano is also erupting, 13,000 foot eruption there. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. They don't want to let us know about the earthquakes. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. Sad. It's very sad. Well, let's go south of Japan here for just a minute. Why don't you just come over here to the island just south of Japan here? Right here. Okay? We have Suwannee-Zajima volcano here. Suwannee-Zajima volcano has been erupting. A 7,000 foot eruption at Suwannee-Zajima volcano. Further north over here in Honshu. Over here in western Japan. Sakurajima volcano has been erupting. In the upper crater, there has been incandescent lava in the top of the crater. Visible in webcam images. The alert level here in Japan has been raised to 3 out of a 5 level warning. Level 3 out of 5 level warning area. People have been warned to stay away from this area within 2 kilometers of the craters. Stay away from a mile away from the craters. Okay? There's been a reported ongoing eruptive activity here. Stay away from it. Stay away from it. Sunni's Jim volcano over in the Ryukyu Islands down south. I told you about that eruption as well. Stay back away from that crater as well. Don't go hiking up that wall of the volcano, because that volcano might erupt and you might be caught in the lava flow coming down that volcano. Small amounts of ash flow coming down the mountain. Small amounts of ash flow coming down the mountain. The alert level at Sunni's volcano is a level 2 out of 5 level scale. Be aware of that. Mount Ibu I talked about in Indonesia. Big deal. Big deal. Don't go near any of these volcanoes, guys. Yes, we have people in Indonesia that watch our program. That's why I'm putting up the warning about that. Now let's go up to Hawaii. Let's go over here to Hawaii, then we'll go over to the Pacific Northwest. Okay? Over here. Okay? Over here is a different story. Okay? Right down here at Mauna Loa. Mauna Loa is not an eruptive status, but Mauna Loa has been having earthquakes. A lot of earthquakes. But further north up here, this is Mauna Kea. Mauna Kea has been having earthquakes as well, a lot more than Mauna Loa has. But over here up the northwest side of Mauna Kea, we've had a 2.2 minor earthquake. 2.2 minor earthquake, but it's not the only one. There are dozens of earthquakes here at Mauna Kea. More earthquakes than at Mauna Loa. USGS never tells us about what's going on here at Mauna Kea, and even rarely tells us about things over at Mauna Loa. There are earthquakes there. Let's go over here to Kilauea. They're showing one earthquake here, 1.7 tremor. Over here on the northeast side of Kilauea. USGS is doing us all a disservice here. They're doing us all a very bad service here. Kilauea is erupting. It's been erupting now for quite some time. On and off. There's been fountaining going on at Kilauea. Dangerous fountaining. No one can go near the rim of the volcano. But there are viewing areas where people can see this volcano erupting. Very beautiful. Absolutely very beautiful. But this area of Kilauea has been erupting for a very long time. And that caldera that is holding the lava there is rising. The volcano caldera at Kilauea is rising as a result of ongoing eruptive processes at Kilauea. It used to be that the caldera was 100 to 150 feet below the summit of the volcano. Below the top rim of the volcano, guess what? It's not that low at all. Okay? Because of the eruption that's been going on there at Kilauea. People should know that now the lava level is probably upwards of 80 feet below the surface, 80 feet below the rim of the crater. It's ongoing. It's very much ongoing. Now, do we have any questions about what's going on here? This should be very concerning to everyone. This should be very concerning to everybody. It's not stopping. It's not stopping at all. Over here on the northeast side of the crater, that fissure, there is a lava flow out of a crater here. The crater over here on the southwest side here, crater eruption here, there's been fountain here as well. This is a very old picture of Kilauea. Two different areas, one to the south and one to the north in the crater. Both areas are erupting here. Renee Sevi says Kilauea is putting on a nice show. It absolutely is. But in putting on that show, the lava level is rising. I don't think it's near an eruptive process where it's going to flow over the rim, but it's getting closer. Now, if this volcano were to erupt in full, where the entire crater was erupting, we would have problems. But right now, there's no danger of this volcano going over the rim of the volcano yet. But I wanted to bring you up to date on what's going on here because it's getting scary. The scientists have even said it's scary. Down here to the southeast here, this is a 2.0 earthquake here on the Himalayan slump, or the Helena slump here, okay? This Helena slump here is an area of distress here on the mountain on the east side, southeast side of the Big Island here, okay? There was speculation even as late as 2 years ago that the Helena slump would fall off the island, causing a major tsunami in the Pacific Ocean. I want to make sure everybody realizes right now that is just a speculation. So far, there's no indication that the Helena slump is going to fall off the island. I want to make that very clear. Don't believe all the rumors here of the Helena slump falling off. Right now, there's no chance of it. No chance of it. Let's go over here to the northeast. Leilani Estates here. This is a 1.4 tremor here. This is a 1.7. Back years ago, back in 2019, when the lava completely disappeared out of the Kilauea volcano, and also over here where it disappeared from another volcano right here. When the lava disappeared out of the craters, the lava went out here via magma channels down here, went over here to Fern Forest, went out here to Leilani Estates as well. Why are we still seeing earthquakes here? Because these magma channels beneath the surface are still there. The magma channels are still here. There's still magma down beneath the surface. Look at these clouds area here. These clouds are from the previous 2023 eruption. These are lava plumes, sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide gas rising from the former fissures. The fissures, for the most part, have all closed up, ended their eruption. Some of these fissures turned into cones and craters here in Leilani Estates. The citizens of Leilani Estates here on the Big Island have now named some of them their own names. Some of these craters and cones are now named volcanoes here. But as you can see, we still have earthquakes here in the southeast side of Leilani Estates. That means there's active magma down here in this area, causing these earthquakes. Active magma down here, punching through bedrock here, causing earthquakes. Rock fracturing here, causing earthquakes. That's what's going on here. I want to show you those lava plumes so you can understand what I'm talking about. Magma's still down there. It's still flowing. Down here to the south, we have Pahala. We have a town called Paul here. My friend Laura from Oregon, she has her family down here. She and John have a grandson down here that went to Pahala High School. We talked about them when they were over here in Pahala for the grandson's graduation. Just south of Pahala, southeast of Pahala here, there's another 1.0 tremor here. Pahala. Why are we having earthquakes down here in Pahala? Because, folks, here in Pahala, this whole area here is one great big huge magma gas station. It's a great big huge magma gas station here. Magma comes from the very southeast side of the Pacific Basin here. Magma comes from way down south here in the southeast side of the Pacific Ocean. Way down beneath the Pacific Ocean here. There is a lava magma plume coming from the center of the earth. That magma plume feeds all the volcanoes around the world. Magma comes up here to Pahala, and then there are magma channels down beneath Pahala that circulate magma to all the volcanoes here on the Big Island. That's why we call it Pahala, the magma gas station. Okay? The magma down here in Pahala is distributed to all the volcanoes all around the island. Yes, we have an earthquake over here at Mauna Kea here. And here on the west, there is no volcano over here at this point. This is also 2.7 earthquake here. But if you did not know, we've got a volcano over here called Walalai. Walalai volcano. Walalai volcano has not erupted in a very, very long time. No, it's not possible that it's not even close to being to an eruption facility, or not facility, eruption phase here. Nowhere close. But occasionally we still see earthquakes here, and we see tremors here all the time. Tremors being 1.0, 1.5, 1.9. That's all that happens here. But we have this 2.7 earthquake over here off the west coast of the Big Island here. That's what's happening here. Okay? Now, if you don't have any other questions, I want to show you what's going on in the Pacific Northwest today. First thing I'm going to show you are earthquakes. A lot of earthquakes. Washington, Oregon. Good old Washington, Oregon. Bunch of earthquakes here. Look at the tremor map. This is the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network tremor map. We have one set of quakes down here to the south. These are tremors down here to the south here. Just northwest of Medford, Oregon. Probably 50 earthquakes right here. But up here to the north, what do you see here? 200 plus earthquakes here. Vancouver Island, the Olympic Peninsula area. USGS only showed us one earthquake in the Pacific, in the Olympic Peninsula area. One earthquake. You can see there's dozens of tremors here. And there, I believe we also have not just tremors, but we have one or two other earthquakes here in the Olympic Peninsula area. They're just not showing them. They're not showing them. Folks, let's take a closer look here. Look at this. Earthquakes happening on Vancouver Island. Why? Look at the number of earthquakes in the Strait of Juan de Fuca. That body of water between Vancouver Island and Washington State. The Strait of Juan de Fuca. We have earthquakes all over there. Why? Because, guys, we have the Cascadia earthquake going to happen. We have the Cascadia earthquake that's going to happen. It's literally when. We don't know. We don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. I believe we're probably less than 5 years away from the Cascadia earthquake happening. A 9.0, 10.0 earthquake off the coast of Washington and British Columbia, Canada. It's going to happen. It's literally when. We don't know. But I promise you one thing, it's going to happen. Promise. It's going to happen. Let's take a look at the other earthquakes here along the coastline. Let's start over here in Oregon. Astoria, Oregon. Look what we're showing you. We're showing you several things here. Number one, look at the thickness of the lines here. Look at the thickness of the lines. This is magma, guys. This is magma running beneath the surface of the earth. The earth that we walk on, the ground that we walk on. But just beneath the ground, we have magma chambers. There is magma coming off the Pacific plate, headed for the volcanoes. The thicker the lines, the more magma going through the volcanic chamber, or the magma chamber here. Thicker the lines, more magma going through the magma chamber here. The thinner lines, less magma. Look at the earthquakes here. Where you see the huge magma balls here, lava balls or magma balls, whatever you want to call them. Those also indicate tremors that are happening. Why? Because magma is going through those magma chambers. That's fracturing rock in the magma chamber, causing tremors here. No, we don't see any good sized earthquakes, but we have tremors here. All kinds of tremors. The other thing you want us to take a look at is this. Let me enlarge this so you can see it. Look at these thin lines here. Most of these thin lines are not earthquakes. These are lines indicating steam. Steam being released from the magma beneath there. As the magma goes through the magma chamber here, 67% of all the magma is water. And as the magma goes through the magma chamber, it's causing a release of steam from the magma. That's why we have these thin lines here that are not, they don't have a dot in the middle of them. Thin lines that have a dot in the middle of them are earthquakes, tremors and earthquakes. But we're seeing a lot of steam here. Very much a lot of steam here. That's what's going on here in Astoria, Oregon. Let's continue this broadcast. Let's go over here to Elsie, Oregon. Look at this. Earthquakes all over the place. But yet USGS and the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network are not acknowledging these earthquakes. Earthquakes. Not just tremors, but earthquakes here. Yes, we see a lot of tremors here, but we also have at least one 2.0, possibly two 2.0 minor earthquakes caused by magma. Caused by magma here, guys. Elsie, Oregon. Let's take a look at Seashore, Oregon. Gerhardt, Oregon. What do we see on this seismogram? This seismogram, we're seeing this harmonic tremors phenomena. Harmonic tremors. The magma going through the magma channel here, causing the ground to vibrate. Harmonic tremors. Go figure. Go figure. It's ongoing. Now, before I go on to the next seismogram, I want to talk to you about what Renee Steppe's putting up here in the chat. Renee Steppe's been putting up flash flood warnings all evening long so far. Okay? Just a few minutes ago, she put up one in Salt Lake City, Utah. Out of the National Weather Service from Salt Lake City, Utah. Washington, Utah. Southern Washington, just north of St. George. Flash flood warning. Life-threatening flash flood warning for Washington, Utah. Starting at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. 5:30 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time is approximately 2 hours from now. There's rain going on. That rain is going to hit the ground. Yes, it is. Yes, it's going to cause flash flooding. Be aware of it, guys. Be aware of it. We need to save your lives. Watch what's going on. NHWC says there's also a coastal flood warning issued from Fairbanks, Alaska for northern Arctic coast. The northern Arctic coast of Alaska for remnants of Typhoon Halong. Remnants of Typhoon Halong over in northwestern Alaska. You've got to be aware of it. Okay? You need to be aware of it. It's not the only one here. Let's go back here a little ways. Okay? Winter storm warning issued from Great Falls National Weather Service for Little Bell and Highwood Mountains, Gallatin, Madison County Mountains, and Centennial Mountains in Montana. Okay? We told you that storm was coming, and it is. This is a storm watch. This is a storm watch. Winter storm watch for the East Glacier Park region, Southern Rocky Mountain area, heavy snow possible. Freeze warning. Freeze warning. National Weather Service out of Cleveland, Ohio. Ashtabula Inland. Trumbull, Ohio. Mahoney, Crawford, Ohio. Freeze warning issued. We told you that storm's going to come across the United States, and it's going to. Temperatures are dropping. You guys are going to see freezing temperatures, and then you may see some snow very soon. Watch out. Watch out. Freeze warning issued for out of West Virginia, Charleston, West Virginia, for northwest Pocahontas, southeast Pocahontas, northwest Randolph, and southeast Randolph as well. Freeze warning in the mountains there. Flash flood warning for Kane, Utah. Life-threatening flash flooding caused by thunderstorms in the area. Be safe, guys. We told you there was going to be flash flood warnings. There's going to be flash flooding going on, and it is. Flagstaff, Arizona. Flagstaff, Arizona. The huge thunderstorm and former tropical storm is coming up. It's not going to be fun. Could be very deadly if you don't watch what you're doing. Go to higher ground. Go right now to Home Depot or Lowe's or Ace Hardware. Get yourself some sandbags and sandbag your home. Take all precautions necessary to protect your family and your home. Sergi, my friend Sergi lives in northern Utah. He says it's going to start raining in his area this evening. He's in northern Utah, north of Salt Lake. Be careful, Sergi. We appreciate you here. Sergi and I have been friends for probably 6 or 7 years now. Great man. Great man. Brokefish N is talking about Rancho Fire evacuation level 3 as well. Evacuation go has been issued for zone SDC 1019, SDC 1020. He's put up a link to the map where their evacuation notice is going through. Okay? We talked about this. My buddy Rich over in Nova Scotia, Canada. Okay? Nature Canada will take down anything humanity put up. We've seen it happen. If you care about your family, you care about your belongings, you care about your home, take care of them. Take precautions. Take precautions now, guys. I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon. These storms are going to go through the area all weekend long. Let's go back to these seismograms in Oregon and in Washington here. Okay. Let's go over into Gray Harbor, northwestern Washington. Look at this. These are tremors. We had one earthquake yesterday evening. One earthquake after 5:43 yesterday evening. It appears this was a 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. But all the rest of these are tremors here. Earthquakes and tremors are all over this area, guys. It's just not tremors that we're worried about in the Pacific Northwest. There are earthquakes here as well. Lopez Island up there as well. Look at this. Yes, we have tremors up here at Lopez Island. But we're also seeing 2.0, 2.3, 2.5, and 2.6 earthquakes over here in the Pacific Northwest near Lopez Island. Happening. Because the Cascadia movement is happening. The Cascadia movement is happening, guys. These earthquakes are warnings of what's going to happen. They're warnings of what's going to happen. Let's look at Nakata, Washington. Right here. Okay? Look at these thick lines here this morning. These are also warnings. The thicker lines show magma here. Magma headed for the volcano. What are these thin lines here? These thin lines do not have a dot in the middle. If the thin lines have a dot, they're earthquakes. These don't have dots. This is steam coming from the magma beneath the ground. Steam coming from the magma beneath the ground. Be aware of it. If there's a lot of steam and you're in a valley, a gorge, a gully, get out of there. Because high concentrations of sulfur dioxide or carbon dioxide could kill you. Get out of there. Get out of there. The news media should be warning you about concentrations of sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide. Hopefully, I'm not saying it's not possible that they're not warning you, but hopefully they are. The Pacific Northwest Seismic Network covers this. They should be warning the news media about it. Okay? Let's talk about Orcas Island. Look at this. In the Northwest, northwestern Washington, we're having earthquakes and tremors. But USGS seems to think we're not wanting to know. And the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network doesn't show these either. You have to go over there and pull the seismographs for it. The only way you're going to find out about these earthquakes are going over the seismographs because they're not going to be on the maps. They're not on that tremor map. I searched it. When you go over the tremor map, on the right side of the tremor map, it lists all the quakes that are there. They're just tremors and microquakes. They're not showing all the other earthquakes here. Yes, here we're seeing a 2.5, 2.6 earthquakes and probably a couple 2.2 earthquakes here as well as a bunch of tremors. Tremors caused by magma headed for the volcano here. Tremors caused by the magma headed for the volcano here. Orcas Island, guys. Now I want to go a little bit south to Pacific County, Washington. Pacific Rim, Washington, right here. Look at this. This is coastal Washington. There's a Navy resort here. Look at the earthquakes and tremors here. Last night, we're showing you an earthquake here, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Just after 9, I want to say 9:10 a.m., 9 p.m. last night, 9:10 p.m. last night, 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. Look at these other tremors as well. Look at these horizontal lines. Magma coming through the magma chambers here under the ground that we walk on. This should be a warning, guys. Magma headed for the volcanoes, guys. We show this to you for a reason. Radar Ridge, the South Washington. Look at this. Now, when it comes to all these lines going every which way, the seismologists mess around with the machine. That's what's causing this. But what I need you to pay attention to are the thicker and thinner lines here. The thicker lines represent a lot of magma going through the magma chamber. The thinner lines, less magma. Yes, we are seeing tremors here. We are seeing tremors here caused by the magma going through the magma chamber here. That's what's happening. Okay? That's Radar Ridge in South Washington. Let's go over to Rockport. Rockport, northern Washington here. This is over near Mount Baker. Look at the earthquakes here last night. Look at these earthquakes here last night. Just after 9:30 last night, 21:30 hours, 9:30 last night. This is probably a 3.0 earthquake. As it shows right here, it shows maybe a 2.6, 2.7. But again, they cut off the top and the bottom of this sequence here. So the sequence would have showed us longer lines, which we could assess as such and such size of earthquake. Because they cut off, I'm supposing this is a 3.0 small quake. This is over by Mount Baker. Later on, after approximately 10:08 p.m. last night, 2.5, 2.6 earthquakes there. Multiple earthquakes. Multiple minor earthquakes here. Then, after 12:40, actually 12:56 a.m. this morning, you see this rectangular earthquake here. This is an earthquake sequence here. The agency cut off the top and the bottom of this sequence here because they don't want us to know the exact strength of this quake. Look at it. Look at it closely. This is at least a 3.3, 3.5 quake. Why do I say that? Look out to the right. That triangle out to the right, that is a magma wave there, a seismic wave, a secondary wave. That secondary wave, we can get a good idea of how strong this earthquake was. That secondary wave lasted a full minute, meaning that this earthquake was at least a 3.3 earthquake. 3.3 earthquake here at Rockport, Washington. The agency doesn't want us to see it. Any of these blue line earthquake seismograms you're seeing here are made by the USGS. Yes, I'm going to show you some ones made by the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network that are red. The blue ones are owned and operated by the USBS. Okay? Now, look at this. As we go through the morning, after midnight, even after 1:30 this morning, they don't show much of anything going on, do they? They should be, but they're not. They turn down the seismic signal. They turn down the seismograph. So it's not reporting much of anything until 8:30 this morning. Then all of a sudden we have a 2.6, 2.7 earthquake right there on that red line. The red lines here are generated by the computer to get the seismologist's attention saying, hey, look at this earthquake. This is important. 2.5, 2.6 earthquake right here. Then more tremors here. Come down here to 1:30 this afternoon on the left-hand side. This is about 1:40, 1:41 p.m. this afternoon. 2.2, 2.3 earthquake. Look at the seismic wave going out to the right. A secondary wave. This is important because instead of just being a 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 earthquake, this could have been a 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. Still a minor earthquake. But the secondary wave lasts 1, 2, 3.5 minutes out. Lasted 3.5 minutes. We have to take a look at the entire earthquake sequence there. That comes down here to 1900. Now, we haven't got to 1900, so this is presupposed by the agency. Didn't happen. Did not happen. Again, this is the kind of agency that we have. They don't tell the truth. They presuppose what's going to happen. Sad. Very sad. Let me show you some of the other earthquakes we've had. First, I'm going to start with Mount Baker. Good old Mount Baker. Look at this. Harmonic tremors at Mount Baker. Not surprising at all. Mount Baker's been having these harmonic tremors for quite some time. At least 2 months that I know of. But we've been showing these to you, haven't we? Mount Baker is actually vibrating. That's what's causing these harmonic tremors to show up here on the seismogram. The magma inside the volcano is moving at such a rate, the ground is vibrating here. Harmonic tremors. Let's go over to the north side of the volcano. In this case, Schutzen. Schutzen is a ski resort on the north side of Mount Baker. The wavy lines here are called VLF waves, caused by the magma going into the magma chamber here and going through the magma chamber. The really busy VLF waves is a lot of magma going through the magma chamber. The lazier waves here is still magma going through the magma channel, but it's not causing as many earthquakes. Now, let's zoom in here. I want to show you this. Okay? Look what's happening here. Look at the time element here. This is between 6 and 11 a.m. this morning. 6 and 11 a.m. this morning. Look at all this busyness. It also was very busy earlier on this morning. Look at that. They're not showing us the exact images that they should be. This amount of VLF wave activity should cause earthquakes. Good-sized earthquakes. Minor and small earthquakes here at Mount Baker, they're not showing them to us. They're not showing them to us, guys. Meaning the agencies are doctoring the seismograms. They're not showing this the exact images here. They're erasing or deleting the information that they don't want us to see. Mount Baker is very busy. Look at it. It's just not harmonic tremors. Yes, it can cause harmonic tremors too, but this should cause earthquakes, substantial earthquakes, minor and small earthquakes, possibly even as large as a moderate earthquake. Yet they're not showing it to us. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid they tell us the truth. They're not doing it. Now I want to go down south to Glacier Peak. Glacier Peak is about 40 miles southwest of Mount Baker. Glacier Peak is a very active volcano. Yes, Glacier Peak here has been showing us harmonic tremors as well, but here we are also seeing earthquakes. Tremors and real earthquakes. Earthquakes here. Magma is going through the magma chamber here at Glacier Peak, causing rock fracturing. That's what's causing these earthquakes. We see 2.2, 2.2, 2.3 earthquakes here. We're also seeing a lot of tremors. Notice these horizontal lines here. The thicker the horizontal lines, the more magma flowing through the magma chamber here at this volcano. Glacier Peak is active. Rarely do they ever give us this opportunity to see this. They erase the detail from the seismograms. They usually show us nothing. Nothing. Glacier Peak is active. Don't ever forget seeing this seismogram here at Glacier Peak. It's active. Let's go south to Mount Rainier now. Okay? Mount Rainier is active. It's very, very active. Okay? I want to go over to Camp Sherman. Camp Sherman. The first one I'm going to show you is the Camp Sherman USGS seismogram. Look at this. Yes, we're seeing a great deal of activity here. Up at the top, this was 17, or not 17, this is 19:15 hours, which is 7:15 yesterday evening. Yes, we're seeing tremors here. The vertical lines here are causing magma, or we see magma going through the magma chamber, very little of it. We see thicker and thinner lines here. That is called magma pulse signals. Magma pulse signals. Yes, we're seeing tremors here, caused by that magma running through the magma chamber of the volcano, causing rock fracturing. Look what happens early this morning. 2:45 to about 5 a.m. this morning. Look at the earthquakes and tremors here. That's a lot of magma going through the magma chamber here. Mount Rainier, Camp Sherman. Let me show you what it looks like over at the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network. Right here. It's almost a complete different story here, isn't it? Let me bring this back down here so you can see it. Okay? Look at this, guys. Move over here to the left and enlarge it here so you can see it. This is a completely different story. The seismogram that the USGS is showing us is failed. It's failed. They're not showing us the seismographic activity from earlier yesterday evening. They showed us from 7 p.m. on. Look at the activity here. The seismic activity here, the magma activity started before 4 p.m. yesterday afternoon. It continued. It continued heavy. Yes, heavy even before 7 o'clock yesterday evening. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock last night. Heavy duty magma influence inside Mount Rainier here, causing earthquakes and tremors. Now you see these horizontal lines here? Magma pulse signals. Thicker the lines, more magma, thinner lines, less magma here. You see the tremors here. Camp Sherman, Mount Rainier. They're not showing us the full story over the USGS. They only want us to see what they want us to see and nothing else. Camp Sherman, USGS. Now I want to show you something here. Again, 11 o'clock here. That magma influence started yesterday about just before 5 p.m. Maybe earlier than that. They're not even showing it here. Yes, they are showing some tremors here, granted, but they're not showing us the full picture here. They're not even showing us all the magma after 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, midnight, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Not showing it. Yes, they're showing us some magma. They are definitely showing us tremors and some earthquakes here. 2.0 earthquakes here, caused by magma coming into the magma chamber here at Camp Sherman here. Look here. Remember that horizontal diagram I showed you here earlier? Having here again a mountain here. Horizontal figure. A magma churn signal caused by high temperature magma in the magma chamber here at Camp Sherman Mountain here. Interesting. The magma churn signal is typically 23 to 24 lines high. Let's count the number of lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines high. Folks, this is just barely 25% of real world. This particular seismogram is only showing us 25% of real world. Multiply the size of these earthquakes by 4. Multiply the size of these earthquakes by 4. Then you get a good idea how strong these earthquakes really are. Tremors as well. The USGS is trying to hide something, guys. They're trying to hide reality. We've shown this before to you. Mount Rainier has been having tremors, minor earthquakes 2.0, 2.9. They've been having 3.0, 3.9 earthquakes all the time. Here at the USGS seismogram, they're not showing much of anything. Yes, they are showing activity, but they're not showing true activity here. That's what I'm saying. They're not showing us true activity. They are out and out lying to us. They're out and out lying to us. They've been doing this for years now. I've been talking about earthquakes here for a very long time. 6.5+ years now. And USGS is still lying to us. Camp Muir, look at this. Camp Muir is on the north side of the volcano. Camp Sherman is on the south. Look at this, guys. Tremors. Tremors. Magma pulse signals here. Again, what happened here after midnight here? What happened after 2:30 this morning? A lot of magma here. Magma causing rock fraction here. Earthquakes. Earthquakes here. Yes, we have magma going through the magma chambers here. The magma pulse signals tell us that. We are also seeing tremors and minor earthquakes here. That's one reason why I want to show you the USGS seismograms. They are a lot different from the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network has. A lot different. Now, I want to jump down over here to Mount St. Helens. I want to keep this going. Let's go over here to Mount St. Helens now. I want to show you Mount St. Helens East Dome. Look at this. Yes, we've had harmonic tremors happen here at Mount St. Helens as well. We have earthquakes as well. Look at this earthquake last night. At 10:14 last night, We had a 2.93.0 earthquake happen here at Mount St. Helens. They happen all the time. USPS did not show it to us. We have harmonic tremors. We also see thicker lines here. Thicker lines representing more magma going into the magma chamber of Mount St. Helens volcano. That's all well and good. Now, before I go off, have cocked here. I want to show you the USGS seismogram from September lobe. September lobe seismogram is showing us a lot of activity, isn't it? Showing us magma. Showing us earthquakes here. Mount Rainier, look at that. We have tremors. We have 2.0, 2.4, 2.5 earthquakes here. Mount St. Helens. Look at this earthquake here on the left-hand side, just after 7:15. Just after 7:15 this morning. As it stands right now, we would look at that and say that's a 2.6 earthquake. Guess what? The bottom and the top of that segment sequence was cut off. The thickness of this earthquake would indicate this lasts about 30 seconds. The bottom and the top have been cut off. We also have a very thin secondary wave here. This was not just a 2.5 earthquake. This is closer to being a 2.93.0 earthquake. Mount St. Helens, again. Yes, you're seeing magma blobs here, magma coming into the magma chamber, and we have earthquakes. Magma fracturing the rock within the magma chamber causing earthquakes here. Look at that. 2.0, 2.3, 2.4 earthquakes here. Good old Mount St. Helens. What I'm going to show you now is more than that. A lot more than that. Let's look at September lobe on the PNSN. This is going to show you a lot. Look at this, guys. This is the VOF wave side part of the seismograph. The September lobe seismograph is a multi-channel seismograph, about 5 or 6 different channels. This particular channel shows the VOF waves caused by magma coming into Mount St. Helens here. Look at this. Look what's going on here. The waves after 5 p.m. yesterday afternoon up until midnight are very slow and lazy. But what happened after midnight last night? It went all the way until almost 1 o'clock this afternoon. Earthquakes. Earthquakes and tremors, heavy-duty earthquakes and tremors here. Even the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network is not showing us all the earthquakes and tremors. Yes, they are showing us activity. But again, the USGS network is also not showing us much of anything. And the map is absolutely not showing us anything at all. I showed you the map at Mount St. Helens. It's not showing us any earthquakes at all. Yet both the seismogram and the PNSN seismogram are showing us activity. Interesting. Renee Steffi's also putting up a flash flood advisory for Las Vegas. The National Weather Service out of Las Vegas, Nevada is saying heavy flooding caused by excessive rainfall is expected in San Bernardino, California. We are going to see heavy rain also in Las Vegas very soon. It's moving north-northwest. Renee Steffi is also saying beach hazards as well along the coastline. San Diego, Los Angeles, Santa Barbara, and coastal parts north of there. Beach hazards, guys. Waves, bad waves. There's going to be some coastal flooding as well. There's going to be storm surge. Beware of that. Renee Steffi also put up a statement from Virginia. National Weather Service out of Wakefield, Virginia for Maryland beaches. Eastern Currituck, Virginia Beach. Accomack, Virginia. Northampton, Virginia. Rip currents. There's going to be storm surge there on the East Coast, Virginia, Maryland, all the way down to South and North Carolina. Storm surge and rip currents, guys, all weekend long. Harbor Girl, it's good to see you here in the chat. Appreciate you very much. Guys, this proves what I've been saying all along. These volcanoes are active. These volcanoes are active. They're not even beginning to even scratch the surface of exactly what's going on here. They don't want us to know exactly what's happening here. They don't want us to. Now, I could go on and on. Let's drop down to Mount Hood, okay? Let's show you Mount Hood timberline. From here on out here this evening, I'm going to show you USGS seismographs, just so you can get used to seeing what's going on here. Look at the top of this one. This is showing us a lot of magma activity here coming into the volcano, right? Absolutely. The thicker lines, more magma coming into the magma chamber here at Mount Hood. We're also seeing tremors here. The vertical lines here are all tremors here. That's last night. Then again at 1:45, we see more magma here. Now, why are we seeing it? Because after 10 p.m., they turn down the seismograph. They turn down the seismograph. So this activity after 1:45 this morning is actually larger than that. Yes, we're seeing 2.2, 2.3 earthquake there, caused by magma coming into the magma chamber of this volcano, Mount Hood. But remember, this seismograph was turned down. Probably turned down only show us 25 to 30% of the world, which means that 2.5 earthquake is actually 3.0 at Mount Hood. At Mount Hood. Look what else is going on here. Let's go through this. Okay. Again, after 10 p.m., the seismologists turned down the seismograph. Turn it down. All of a sudden, just before 6:30 this morning, they turn it back up. All of a sudden, we see thicker lines again. More magma coming into the magma chamber here. Then after that, they turn it back down. We don't see anything until later this afternoon. All times here are Pacific time. All times here are Pacific time. 1400 hours, 2 p.m. Pacific time. 1600 is make-believe. It's make-believe. Right now, it's just barely 1600 hours. Just barely becoming 1600 hours. That's a make-believe here. They are lying through their teeth. They are lying through their teeth. Okay? That's what's going on here. Mount Hood. That's timberline from Government Camp. Let's take a look at this next seismogram coming from Mount Hood, this time halfway up the south side of the volcano over here at Palmer Lift. Palmer Lift is a ski resort on the south center part of Mount Hood. There just happens to be a seismograph here. Look at the activity here. Just after 7 o'clock last night, they started the seismograph. Yes, we're seeing some magma coming in the magma chamber here, thicker lines here. Thinner lines, less magma. We're also seeing tremors here. But last night after approximately 11 o'clock last night, this would be about 11:13 last night. This shows a 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. They turned it down. They turned down the seismograph, so this 2.5, maybe 2.6 earthquake is actually 3.0 earthquake at Mount Hood. These other tremors are actually minor earthquakes. Look at the areas here where there's more activity. Magma coming into the magma chamber here, guys. Magma coming into the magma chamber, that's causing these earthquakes. Look at the tremors here. This earthquake after 5 p.m. Pacific time. This nowhere near 5 p.m. right now. Just barely 4. Just barely 4 p.m. Not quite 4 p.m. Again, they are lying through their teeth. They're making things up as they go. Incredible. Now, guys, I've held you here for a very long time. I have other seismograms I can show you going all the way down to Crater Lake and down to Mount Shasta and Mount Lassen. Just let me clue you in. Mount Shasta and Mount Lassen are moving. There is a lot of magma going through both magma chambers. Mount Shasta and Mount Lassen are showing signs that they can erupt, more so at Mount Lassen than Mount Shasta. There's a lot of magma going into those magma chambers, and there's some earthquakes. Be aware of it. Hurricane Heather lives over near Mount Shasta. Heather, be very careful, please. Please be very careful. Harbor Girls over in northwestern Washington, she says she thinks the axial seamount is off the coast of the Pacific. It is. She says it's about to erupt. It could. The axial seamount has actually been erupting, but it's not been erupting very large. Scientists at the axial seamount are saying, yes, there could be a large eruption at the axial seamount, but it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened yet. As we stand right now, I will guarantee you one thing. When it happens, I'll be there to tell you about it. No, I won't be on the scene, but I will tell you about it. I will definitely tell you about it. Because that eruption of that volcano off the coast could cause another island to come into fruition. If it becomes a strong enough earthquake, a strong enough volcanic eruption, we might see steam and ash in the air. It's possible. So far, the axial seamount has only been eruption in the water. A steam eruption in the water. There has been some lava at the bottom of the ocean. Nothing more. Nothing more. Linda Cummings says that she's going to watch the big debate. There's a debate for governor of Virginia, the new governor of Virginia. Linda, please let me know. Send me an email or a text message of some kind letting me know how that debate turns out. I'd be very interested in who becomes the governor of that state in November. This is October, 1 month from the election right now. We'll see what happens. Please, Hurricane Heather, she said she's going to be safe. I hope you all are going to be safe. As I said, the Pacific coast is going to get hit with storms. A lot of bad storm weather. There's going to be some rain, there's going to be flooding, and there's going to be some thunderstorms. Please be careful, all of you. From the Pacific Northwest, Vancouver Island, all the way down to northern Mexico, be very careful. You folks here on the East Coast, please be extremely careful. Be extremely careful, guys. Things are happening, and they're not good. The storms are not going to be very good at all. They're very bad storms. There's going to be flooding, there's going to be thunderstorms, and things are going to happen. Please be safe out there. Now, I've come to the end of the program. I want to give you a devotional here. I talk about earthquakes, I talk about politics, I talk about everything on this channel. A lot of stuff's not good. But at the end of the programs, because I'm a Christian man, I want to leave you with something more positive. I go to the scriptures many times to try to find something that is acceptable that could lift you up. Thank you, Cassandra, for saying stay safe, everyone. That's much appreciated. I want to go to 2 Timothy here. In fact, I'm going to 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1. This is the Apostle Paul talking to his brother Timothy. He's saying we should pray for all men. Everyone. 2 weeks ago, we had another church burned up and taken down, and church members killed by an assassin. We should pray for all men, not just the people's families who were killed, but also for the shooter's family, his wife, his child. While we have a lot of people that were condemning the shooter, prior to that, still, we have people that are condemning the LDS Church, saying we're a cult. We're not. We're a Christian people. Christian people helping one another. Did you know that the LDS people there in Michigan raised over $175,000 for the shooter's wife and small son that has health issues? They helped him too. $175,000 raised for the shooter's family. Thousands of dollars were raised for the people that were killed, for the families and members that were killed. These are Christian men and women, Christian families. What happened when Charlie Kirk was killed? Christians came together, didn't they? Men and women literally all around the world, not just here in the U.S., but around the world, came together. We all should pray for everyone. Laura Marie is saying the rain just started there in Oregon with a big bang of thunder. Be careful, guys. Thunderstorms and rain. There might also spin off a tornado, so be careful out there. Yes, surgery, the shooter's kid is a person with special needs. I'm very grateful for the money those people put up for that child and the man's wife. Otherwise, her and her son would be in a bad situation. We should pray for everyone, regardless of who they are or what circumstances they are in. Pray for everyone, guys. Christ is our mediator. Women should be blessed in child rearing, admonished to continue to have faith, charity, and holiness. Paul says, I exhort, therefore, that first of all, supplications, prayers, and intercession, and giving of thanks be made for all men, for kings, and for all that are in authority, that we may lead a quiet and peaceable life in all godliness and honesty. This is good and acceptable in the sight of our God and our Savior, who will have all men to be saved and to come unto the knowledge of the truth. For there is one God and one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus, who gave himself a ransom for all, to be testified in due time, whereunto I am ordained a preacher and an apostle. I speak the truth in Christ, and why not? Teacher of the Gentiles in faith and verity. I will therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands without wrath and doubting. Pray, everyone. Pray for people you don't even know. Pray for people you know, and also pray for those people that need help. For those people that have health issues. For those people that have bad lives. They don't have much to think about. They don't have much to do. They don't have much to eat. Let's pray for everyone. Let's pray for peace. Let's pray for peace everywhere, including in the Middle East. President Trump has signed a peace document between Israel and Gaza. Hopefully it'll stay. Hopefully it'll stay. President Trump has said the prisoners that the Hamas terrorists have held are supposed to be released by Monday or Tuesday next week. Let's pray that those prisoners, those hostages, are released. May each of us be guided and directed in the manner which we should go, what we should do and where we should go. May God bless us to stay on the covenant path, to follow the Savior Jesus Christ. Yes, Heather, Israel is hitting Gaza. They signed a peace treaty and they're hitting Gaza, unfortunately. Let's pray for peace. Let's pray for peace. Brothers and sisters, I love you. God loves you. God wants us to come together. I truly believe that God wants us to come together. Let's do that. Let's pray for good things to happen. We've talked about earthquakes. We've talked about volcanoes. Things are happening. But let's pray to God that the Lord, our Savior Jesus Christ, and His Father slow some of this stuff down, that we may live peaceful lives and be able to pray, be able to prepare for His coming. Pray for everyone, everyone. Pray for everyone. God bless you all. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Good night, everybody. Much love. See you soon. God bless.
Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard, So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better, bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep learning, because we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Have a great night. We'll see you on the other side. If anything else happens tonight, we'll be back on the air to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Good night, everyone.